What's up? How you doing? Here I am with my daughter Amanda, and we're going to do a video on some candy here. But first I want to say that this video is brought to you by Gorilla Glue. I love this product, Gorilla Glue. Okay, go ahead. Tell them about See's Candy.
So this is See's Candy. It was made from Mary C. The name is called See's Famous Old Time Candies. I think this was made in 1921. It says it on the side, I think it says.
Right.
It's really good, and it's chocolates, not like sweets, not like sour candies, not like hard candies. It's chocolates. There's my favorite one is the one that have almond, caramel, and chocolate at the bottom. It kind of looks like a Titanic to me. I don't know. That is Mary C right there. It's hard to see. And there's a house right here. Looks like a cottage. Their colors, I think, are...
Where'd you get that?
Oh, I got this in Palm Springs. Their colors are gold and black.
When I was a kid visiting my grandmother, she always had a box of Whitman's.
Another chocolate.
Right, always had a box of these, and she'd pull it out and she'd say, take one, and then you take one, and she's like, take one more, and you take another one. I always liked the ones that were in the shape of a Reese's peanut butter cup. Those are my favorite ones, and this is a double-decker, but she always had one of these, like she had a supply somewhere, and when somebody would come over, she'd pull it out and
they have some.
Offer you Whitman sampler. That's from 1842.
Oh, this is the
one,
casing.
Yeah.
For the See's thing, they only use like bubble wrap.
Right.
Oh yeah, no chocolates in this one. It isn't empty, but it's good too. I think their colors are yellow, I guess purpley brown. Like they have flowers. It's like more like a digital, like pixelated.
Right.
And they mostly use like that very cursive-y writing.
And I'll tell you another thing. When I was a kid, we'd go out for school and sell, it's called the World's Finest Chocolate. It's a company that you kind of sell their products in your neighborhood, and then they had little encouragement prizes. Like if you sold 40 of them, they'd give you, I don't know, Apple computer or something. So I would go out and sell those, and then inside the wrapper, when you ate the chocolate, you'd unroll it, and inside it had a coupon from Burger King. Like you'd get maybe a Junior Whopper for free if you bought whatever, or a fry, whatever. And back then, I would ride the subway system a lot. This is 6th grade. And I would end up downtown, and I always planned it. I always had enough money for the bus, the train, and I had enough money for the arcade, and I had enough money for a meal with my coupon. So I would go to the arcade downtown, play a bunch of games, right? And then after that, I would go to Burger King and order a few things and pull out the coupon and hand it to the lady, and then I'd get like a Junior Whopper or something. So that was my my little plan every once in a while, every week, basically, every weekend. And yeah, I thought it was like roughing it, you know, with all these little tricks of getting stuff. But that's what I would do. World's Finest Chocolate, I don't know if it's still in business, but like I said, they had a coupon inside for Burger King. Have it your way.
And also, their chocolates in the Whitman sampler thing, they have caramel, solid milk chocolate messenger boy. It has like a boy carrying, I think, this box, I think. They also have chocolate covered almonds, toffee, coconut, and
Molasses chew.
Molasses chew. They also have walnut cluster that they don't show that picture. I think chocolate whip, cherry cordelias. I think dials.
I'm not a fan of molasses. I've had it before, but I'm not a fan of it. I know some people, they like it, but, you know.
And they also have chocolate truffles and more. Gosh, they have too many.
I love dark chocolate. You know, not 100% obviously. I'm not cooking a cake, baking a cake, but I love dark chocolate with almonds, maybe those almond clusters, Godiva, good stuff. Years ago, Hershey made a special chocolate. It was dark. That was all right, but I like some almonds in there or something.
Yeah, I like the almond Hershey's. Those ones are good.
Right. I remember in the 70s they had a commercial. One person would be walking eating a chocolate bar. The other person would be walking the opposite way, having a peanut butter thing, you know, with a spoon, eating it, you know, walking around, you know, whatever. And then they'd bump into each other, and the chocolate bar would get into the peanut butter bowl, cup, whatever, and pull it on. One guy would say, "You got chocolate on my peanut butter," and the other guy said, "You got your chocolate in my peanut butter." So they take a bite, and he's like, "But it's delicious." They don't make those commercials anymore.
Yeah, it's only showing the candy, yeah, and it's only a voice too, or not even a voice.
But I could eat my weight in chocolate in no time, especially dark chocolate. I could eat my weight in no time. You know, I love dark chocolate. Fudge. You know, but the clusters with a little bit of caramel inside, love those. And what's the other thing I like that we bought the other day? That roll thing that they chopped up in pieces. I forget what it's called there now. Nougat.
Nougat rock.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I like honeycomb.
Honeycomb good. I like the one that has like the beeswax still.
Yeah, I used to get that, and then I'd get carried away and eat a little bit too much of it, and you get that overwhelming feeling, too much sugar, and you know, you're like, okay, I got to stop for a minute, and then you'd start again. And then with that, you keep chewing and chewing and chewing, and then at some point you think to yourself, why am I not spitting this thing out? Beeswax.
Yeah, it's good, but then you start chewing it, and like you want to eat more of it because then there's like still honey on it, and you want to keep chewing it, and you also feel like you're eating gum, I think.
Yeah.
And also you're like, oh, I want to keep eating it because it still has honey on it, but then you keep eating it for a while, and you just remember that you ate it for like an hour or something.
When I was a kid, a pack of gum, Bubble Yum is what we used to get, was 15 cents a pack.
Oh.
15 cents a pack. And I remember at some point it went from 15 to 20 cents. I was like, that's expensive now. And then you start thinking about it, and you start sounding like those old guys from the old days that would say, you know, when I was a kid, I'd go see a movie and get popcorn. It was a nickel. Eventually you start sounding like that. 15 cents for a pack of gum. I used to go to Henry's. They had a little store called Henry's. I'd go in there before school. This was third grade, and I'd get some, you know, items for class secretly, you know, chewing on things. Big thing back then was those sunflower seeds. You know, not the ones where you do the seeds, you'd make a mess, but the other ones that are clean. You'd sit there in class just nibbling. And then Hubba Bubba came out.
Oh yeah, Hubba Bubba was good.
Hubba Bubba came out. I think it's still around. They had this older guy playing a cowboy, and he would come out with the Hubba Bubba thing, and they'd both two guys would blow bubbles. One would stick to the guy's face, but the Hubba Bubba guy would pull it out, and nothing would stick. Yeah. But one thing I miss that they make now, but it's an imitation. It's not the real deal. Chinese fortune gum. The fortune gum came in a you know, a long thing like that, thinner, and it was an orange paper wrapped around. It had a little image of an Asian guy with a hat, and then you'd open it up, peel it up, and it was a nice pink gum. Start chewing it, best flavor. Wouldn't last long, but it was really tasty. And inside they had like a little fortune cookie thing where it would tell you a little, you know, fortune cookie saying.
Yeah, I like that. It was like fortune cookies, but it had more sweetness.
Yeah, and then somebody bought the rights to it, and they started making it again. But it's one thing's missing from it, the thing that keeps the gum soft. You know, the new gum is really rigid, and you have to heat it or something to put in your mouth. But the old days, it was nice and soft and
Yeah.
very nice flavor. They were 1 penny a piece.
I
I
thought
go
you
to
had some.
What's that?
I thought you had some.
No, but that's the imitation. Yeah, when I was in kindergarten, right after kindergarten, I'd head home, and there was a little store in that neighborhood called Elmer's, no relation to the glue. And there was an older guy in there. He had all white hair, kind of combed to the side and to the back. And it was a tiny place. It was like going into somebody's closet. Very, very small place. And he was behind the counter. And I would always say, give me 50 pieces of fortune gum. And he'd pull out this big plate and he'd start counting 2 at a time. 2, 4, 6, 8. And then he had these little brown paper bags. He'd fill that up, and then I'd go home and start chewing. You know, and the other thing that he had, he's long gone now, I guarantee you. I mean, he looked like he was around, the way I remember him, he looked like he was probably 60 years old back then. And that was a long time ago. But the other thing he had in that store was those airplanes. I don't know what they're called. They're kind of like gliders. They're made from thin wood, very thin wood, and you put it together, and it has a tail in the back. Whatever. Then the little guy, plastic guy, you put. And I would buy one of those. I think they were a dime back then. They were very cheap, and I'd play with it. They never lasted long. You know, they always crashed and they'd break after a while. But that was one of my favorite things to get. One of those fake airplane things and flying around. They were about that big. Anyway, so one day. My parents had to go somewhere, and I was in kindergarten number 2, and they called my grandmother over. She came over to watch, but I didn't need watching. You know, back then nobody needed watching. So anyway, she's up there, and I was thinking, you know, I got to get out of here. I got to go up to the school area and buy one of those planes. I want to play, you know. So I said to her, going down to the basement. I'm 5 years old. She's like, yeah, okay, go basement. I go, I'll be back in a little bit. So I go down to the basement. I open up the side door, and I remember this like it happened yesterday. And I ran all the way from my house all the way to my school, which at the time, school's still there, but it's about about 6 blocks away. So I ran up there. Elmer's was open. I went inside, and I bought little airplane, and I came back and went upstairs. She didn't even know I was gone. She thought I was in the basement all that time. And then I went down in the backyard, and I was playing with that thing all evening. Had some good memories with that stuff. But yeah, that was that Elmer's was nothing more than a house where they converted one of the rooms into a store. And way in the back, he had a cooler, ice cream fridge, you know, freezer, and you'd open up the top and put your hand in there, and there was one, it was a popsicle, it was like the shape of a rocket, different colors, and there was another one you'd push from the bottom and vanilla on top. And then of course the one where it's a popsicle on the outside, orange, and then inside is vanilla, like that too. And he had bread, you know, Wonder Bread, and in those days Wonder Bread, I think it was Wonder Bread. Wonder Bread came with a sticker, one of those cartoonish looking stickers, you know, like weird looking characters. And every Wonder Bread had one sticker. And me and my friend Tony back then, we would fill up our lunch boxes inside with these stickers. So, you know, they stopped doing that though. Had good times in those days. Anyway, that's it. We're out of time. It's kind of time to go to bed. So, see you later. Alligator.